If you genuinely love staying at home, you're not just an introvert, you possess psychological traits so rare that researchers have spent decades trying to understand them. While the world glorifies the extroverted ideal, the hustlers, the socialites, the people who can't sit still, you've quietly mastered something far more valuable. And science is finally catching up. Let's start with the most obvious one: you have an exceptional relationship with yourself. Most people can't be alone with their thoughts for more than a few minutes without reaching for their phone, turning on the TV, or calling someone. A famous study asked people to sit in a room alone with nothing but their thoughts for 15 minutes. Shockingly, many chose to give themselves mild electric shocks rather than sit in silence. But you? You thrive there. You've developed what psychologists call high self-sufficiency, meaning your happiness doesn't depend on external sources. You've become your own best company. Second, you have advanced emotional regulation. When you're at home, you're not running from your feelings, you're processing them. You've created space for introspection that most people avoid their entire lives. Studies show that people who enjoy solitude have lower anxiety levels and better stress management because they've learned to sit with discomfort instead of distracting themselves from it. You're doing the internal work that everyone talks about but few actually practice. Third, your creativity is off the charts. History's greatest minds, Einstein, Tesla, Newton, Dickinson, were all known for their love of solitude. Why? Because creativity requires uninterrupted mental space. When you're home, you're not just scrolling or binge-watching, your mind is making connections, solving problems, imagining possibilities. Research from Harvard shows that people who spend time alone generate more creative solutions than those in constant social environments. Your alone time isn't wasted, it's when your brain does its best work. Fourth, you have what's called low social fatigue threshold, and that's not a weakness, it's a superpower. You recognize when social interaction drains you, and you honor that boundary. Most people push through exhaustion, saying yes when they mean no, attending events they hate, maintaining friendships that deplete them. But you've developed authentic self-awareness. You know your limits. You protect your energy. And in a world that glorifies burnout, that's revolutionary. Fifth, you possess high autonomy. You don't need group consensus to feel confident in your choices. You're comfortable making decisions independently, pursuing hobbies alone, enjoying activities without an audience. Psychologists link this to secure attachment and strong internal validation systems. You're not performing your life for social media or living for others' approval. You're living intentionally, and that's increasingly rare. Here's the deeper truth: society has conditioned us to believe that happiness comes from external experiences, parties, travel, constant social engagement. But research consistently shows that sustainable happiness comes from internal sources: self-acceptance, purpose, meaningful solitude. You've figured out what millions spend their lives chasing. You've built a rich inner world that doesn't require constant external validation. And let's address the elephant in the room: people will call you boring, antisocial, even depressed. But here's what they don't understand: you're not avoiding life, you're savoring it differently. You've rejected the exhausting performance of constant availability. You've chosen depth over breadth, quality over quantity, peace over chaos. That's not weakness, that's wisdom. So if you love staying home, own it. You're not missing out, you're tuned in. You're not hiding. You're healing, creating, growing. You possess traits that most people will never develop because they're too busy running from themselves. And in a world that never stops moving, your ability to simply be is not just rare, it's revolutionary.